make your life much more difficult. So today I've got the full guide for you. How to destroy your life in your 20s. If you follow all these
What?
steps, you'll be on a path to
That's
be
just
broke and
crazy.
unhappy as you enter your 30s and
Hey
beyond.
man, I'm
I have
just
10
really
fatal
bored, so I'm like,
mistakes,
fuck,
everything
I'm
from
gonna watch
financial
this shit.
decisions to dating decisions and the consequences of
okay.
each of these bad decisions. And I do want to say, even if you've made some of these mistakes, you can always come back. But it's probably best to just avoid these altogether if possible. So if you find yourself doing these, get your shit together. And before we get into it, leave a piece of advice for someone who just
Smiley,
turned
what
20
up?
below, maybe even your younger self who just turned 20. What's your best advice for them as they enter this defining decade of their lives? So if you want to be broke, alone, and miserable, what's advice for them as they who just turned 20 below, maybe even your younger self who just turned 20? What's your best advice for them as they enter this defining decade of their lives? So if you want to be broke, alone, and miserable by 30, follow this blueprint. Let's get into it. Okay, the first way to destroy your life in your 20s is getting a bad college degree. So this is what I would call kind of the first trap of growing up in adulthood. Because unfortunately, society pushes on us that you have to go to college, you have to go get a job and follow this path to be successful. And while a college degree can help, I mean, I have one and definitely benefited me, it's not always the best decision. It's very dependent on what you study. So I'm going to just show a list of the highest earning college majors versus the worst ones. Please make sure you can make money and not overspend on the degree. If you do this wrong, it can leave you with lots of debt, little skill, and little income earning prospects. I mean, getting a degree in underwater basket weaving isn't going to get you there. So don't confuse college with education, gentlemen. Mistake number 2, and this is one big one that can haunt you for the rest of your life if you don't figure it out soon, is not taking your finances seriously. Many people get their first real job around 22, 23. They immediately scale their lifestyle. They get a nicer car. They get a nicer apartment. They leave very little room to save and invest money at the end of the month. They say things like, I'm young, I'm single, I don't need to worry about this investing thing. I'll figure it out later in my 30s. And that's a devastating mistake because time is your best friend in investing. And delaying investing
Luckily, I was fortunate enough to make a good amount of bread.
just gives away the biggest advantage 20-year-olds have, and that's time. When I got my first full-time job at 22 where I had extra money coming in, I picked up a few books, I reached out to people who knew finances, and I just tried to learn about how money works and how investing works, what types of accounts there are, what are historical returns, and more. And I wish I did it sooner. I put in a good 4 to 5 years of solid investing and cheap living, and it set me up for the rest of my life. Compounding works the best.
Bro, I'm not buying bots, bro. Come on, bro. Do I got mods to get this dude out of my Twitch chat?
Best when you start early,
Get
and
him outta
eventually you want your money to work for
Luke?
you, not the other way around. Now, if I
Bro,
didn't
you gotta
make
get
this
that bread.
decision in my early 20s, I'd have much less freedom. I'd have nowhere near as much money as I do now. I probably couldn't have quit my job. And if you're lucky enough to be watching,
So basically, throughout this video, it's just do the opposite. Just don't fuck, you know. He's basically giving us sauce, dog. He's giving us W sauce. Appreciate this guy.
this in your 20s, especially your early 20s, just start taking finances seriously. If you delay this to your 30s or just don't take money very seriously, you're going to be playing catch up for life and maybe even living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, bro, your ass gonna be, using them little ketchup packets. Boy, your ass gonna have a little baggie of ketchup packets. Hot sauces, Gotta save them bitches for later, looking ass.
In a situation where you can't escape.
Better
So the
get your
next
money
trap, and
straight.
this is somewhat related, is falling for consumerism. So buying all the things, the new
yeah,
cars, the new clothes, the stuff you don't need, the
All that new
Amazon
shit,
shopping
man. Fuck all
sprees,
that
all
new
the
shit,
crazy
man.
subscriptions. If it doesn't make you money, give you more
Unless T-Mobile hook you up with that thing, if you pay it off, or if you pay off your phone, and then you could trade it in the other phone to get the new phone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I ain't gonna lie, I had the iPhone SE 2 for the longest. Boy, I had that bitch for like how many years? Good, like 5 years, boy. Dead ass. Probably since like 2019, 2018. I'm not even lying. But I finally upgraded to iPhone 16, you feel me? So, blessed.
time or make you happy, don't buy it. So don't scale up your lifestyle when you get a raise. In your 20s, you kind of have a past to be a total cheapo. Like I lived with roommates in kind of bad neighborhoods. I lived with my parents. I never spent more than $5K on a used car, and I never got in debt. I mean, if you're a single
Shit, I ain't gonna
22-year-old
lie, I
living with 3 roommates in a beaten down rented apartment, you're driving a 2002 Corolla with 150,000 miles on it while eating nothing but ramen, that's accepted by society. Now, if you're a single 37-year-old living the same lifestyle, people are going to question you and look at you differently. Don't be a consumer, be a saver and investor instead. Like if you buy too many things,
Alright, my boy,
chances are you just
even
won't
the
have much
sauce.
freedom later in life to do what you want. So, I mean, if I was a consumer, I wouldn't have been able to leave my job and accumulate the kind of net worth that I was able to. So the next mistake you can make is
Yo,
chasing
check out
comfort
the,
and not taking
Twitch.
risks
Go
when
check
you
out the
can.
Twitch.
So your 20s are really all about trying a bunch of different things to learn about who you are and
this
what you
dude's
want to
gonna
do.
get
And for
smoked,
many
I
of
ain't
us in
gonna
our
lie.
20s, this is the rare time window we get in our lives to take risks, where you're old enough to work, but too young to have any crazy responsibilities. This is the time to go after your dreams and the life
You
you
know,
want.
hell yeah,
I had
'cause
this
I
window
ain't
of opportunity from about
never
22
trying
to
to get
28,
no,
where I
baby.
had basically.
I ain't never trying to get no kid, man. Imagine trying to take care. I could barely take care of myself. Talking about take care of another fucking low human being, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Hell no.
Basically zero responsibilities and could do whatever I wanted to without any huge consequences. Now, for me, I'm 28, I'm engaged, and in 2 years I'll likely have kids, I hope. And that will severely
Give up.
limit the risks that I can
Outta
take. So
here,
I'm
bro.
happy that I took the risk to leave my job when I did. Many people I'm good friends
Yo,
with
he
in their
risked-
late
he left his
20s, they have
job, bro.
families,
He's a
which is a
fucking
beautiful thing,
savage.
but now they don't have time to go start that business or quit their jobs. They got to be the provider now. And for you young guys, I want you to find that balance. I don't want you to confuse this with being irresponsible. Like every action you take should be calculated, should have a goal, should teach you something.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I forgot how the ray gun reloaded. Bro, I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, bro. Yo, that's crazy. Nah, low-key, that's lit. That bet go. You know? Man, fuck.
Maybe you get that safe job when you're 22 and then you learn from it and you meet people and then maybe you can take that big risk at 25. You can start that business, that YouTube, do what you want. Because once you settle down into
You know, this that big risk. Mr. Take that risk, you feel me?
a life with, more responsibilities, a mortgage and wife and kids, you can't be irresponsible anymore. This lifestyle, getting married and having kids, isn't for everyone, but it's a great goal. It's one of mine. And if you go down that path, your risk appetite will shrink drastically. So bottom line, take risks when you can, and if you don't, you might get locked into just that boring, repetitive life, wondering what could have been if you took those risks and went after your dreams. So the next mistake
That's
number
why you gotta
5,
be
kind of
Mr.
related to
Take
being
that risk,
comfortable,
bro. Dead
is
ass.
wasting too much time. I mean, how many of you guys waste away day after day
And I ain't gonna lie,
procrastinating
do
on
be
what you should
spending
be
a lot
doing?
of time
You
on
get
the
home
doom
from work,
scrolling
you
and
spend
shit.
2 hours, scrolling on Instagram, on
Okay,
TikTok,
not
when
2
you could
hours,
be
bro.
building.
Chill
You're
out.
delaying your dreams. You're not starting that new thing, that business, that channel. Many of us are fine, just relaxing and not building dreams. And if you're happy doing that, more power to you. But if you're unhappy and you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to make sacrifices. You have to
Bro,
do extraordinary
you gotta-
things. You got to stop wasting time
You
and go
feel
do
me?
things. If
That's
you
it.
waste too much time, your dreams will never
Palabra,
come to
fool,
life.
that
And if
just
I
say,
continued to
you know?
choose scrolling instead of
Just-
diving into YouTube in my free time, I wouldn't be here right now. The next mistake, and this is a very, very big one. It's going to be a bigger section. We're just going to put women in general. Now this could be its own video. And I say women just because my audience is 99% male. For the few ladies out there watching this, simply just replace women with men. For many men, this is a huge part of our 20s that's just riddled
Yeah.
with mistakes. I mean, people approach dating the complete wrong way, I think. A common mistake people
And I
make
ain't gonna lie, in the year 2025, the big 25, they didn't cook. They ain't gonna lie, but shit. Game is game. Good luck to all my fellas out there. You feel me?
It's chasing women too much, and I mean this in the shallow way, where many men just allow the pursuit of women to dominate their lives. I've made this mistake. People participate in meaningless hookup culture, or they date the wrong people just because they're hot. They go after the
Hell
attractive
yeah.
chicks who just have nothing going on in their brains, and they do this instead of
Dumbass
building
bitches.
themselves and allowing
Wait, damn.
women to be
Didn't even
attracted
say
to
that
you.
shit.
Instead, you spend your
Oh, yeah.
energy pursuing them, and this delays you from finding your mission. So
Yeah,
many
man.
men spend
What's
forever
good,
trying to
man?
date these
How you
types of
doing?
women. And meanwhile, I think the sooner you can date with intention, the better. I've dated a lot of people in my 20s and learned so
Man,
much
get
from the
the fuck outta
process.
here.
And you can learn about what you
I
want,
ain't
you
even
get
trying
better
to
at
focus
dating,
on none
just
of
get
that.
better at being kind of funny and entertaining in a relationship.
That
And you have a
weird
chance to
shit.
meet many great people along the way. And dating's just like
I'm
anything
telling you,
else.
we
It's a
in the big
skill you have to
25,
build,
bro. That
it's
shit
something you have
that
to
way,
put
man.
time to in order to get better if you want to find the right person. And once you
shit
do
that
find
way
that
in the
right
big
person, it
25.
will make your life better in every way. I mean, I finally found my partner. My fiance is someone who helps me build and supports me. She makes my life easier. Without her, I wouldn't be in the mind space and have the kind of time to pursue the things that I can pursue. Just to illustrate the difference, one of my previous ex-girlfriends scolded me for not making more money, even though I was doing great at the time. And the other person I'm with now just supported me as I quit my job to follow my dreams. So you got to date the
I made
supporter,
investments.
not the energy drain. If you make mistakes here, there's just
bro.
so much that can go wrong. You
Made some
can hook up
investments.
too much and you could get a disease. You could get someone pregnant. You could end up with a shallow person that's not a good match. You could marry the wrong person. Or on the
You end
flip
up with a
side, if you never
disease.
talk to
Not
anyone,
that, right?
you'll be alone with no dating skills and no relationship history into your 30s, which doesn't help for dating either. So definitely find a balance with the ladies
But
and date with
did he
intention.
upgrade
So
the
mistake
fucking
number
gun or not?
7 is not going out of your way to meet more people and meet the right people. Your network
that
can
ass,
be
right?
your biggest
You
asset in
start
life. You know,
stepping
the
out of the
people you know,
box.
your acquaintances, your friends, and I firmly believe in the statement that you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. I mean, if your friends are healthy and they care for themselves, they want what's best for you, they encourage you to be better, and they're doing cool things, that'll make a huge difference than if you're friends with a bunch of people who complain about their jobs all day and they go out and drink and smoke on weekends to escape.
Oh,
Even
well, fuck
outside of
me.
friends, like you'd be shocked at the amount of opportunities that can come your way, even just by weekly knowing someone. I mean, my biggest software client right now was referred to me by
Damn,
one of
that
my
boy
friends,
just-
and I hardly knew them going into it.
Hey, he had a good little run right there. You feel me? He made it around 11. You feel
Business
me? That's
opportunities
decent.
happen,
Not
but
bad.
you have to get to know people. So put in an effort to go get to know people and put in an effort to make the right friends. If you don't, you'll be less happy. You might have toxic people in your life.
That's
And you'll
right.
just have less
There you go.
opportunities.
Make
So
my
make sure that this is a
decision, my
priority.
friend.
All right, mistake number 8, and now we'll be
Oh,
shifting
man.
into some more shallow things that guys waste their time with. And this is
Shallow.
partying too
Fuck does
much.
shallow
So
mean?
for my
Oh,
late
shit.
teens, early
I don't even
20s,
be
I was
going to
definitely into
parties,
the
bro.
party lifestyle. I was going out on weekends, getting drunk, making bad decisions, and it was a lot. It wasn't necessarily
That
good
boy
for
got
me
that
because
shotty.
so much can go wrong. And I've seen people,
That boy
including
got that
myself,
shotty.
right, get injured, get in trouble, make bad decisions. And I'm thankful that by 23, 24, I just had the realization that partying will not get you anywhere. It's not meaningful. And I definitely got it out of my system, as they'd say.
Man.
And now I have no interest in it. As you go through your 20s,
that's true.
this is kind of what happens. I mean, early on, you could
That's-
treat your body terribly.
that
You
should
can
be
go out late
decent.
morning, 1, 2 in the morning, drink,
Not,
wake
you
up the
know,
next day, and
not
nothing
all
really
that.
mattered. Now it's different. I have more responsibilities.
I have-
the
I have
hangovers are
homies
way
that-
worse. You know,
they
if I
has
go
to
out
be
Saturday
going
night,
on,
I'm worthless on
roadblocks.
Sunday and Monday now. It's also bad, like
Hit
not
a
only
trick
from a health
shot.
perspective, but from a
Oh, your
financial
ass is
perspective.
ass,
Because
bro.
alcohol
You
can
so-
double
you
your
about to
bill
lose right
with
there, you
dinner,
about to
and
lose
you know,
right there.
if it added all up, you're probably spending thousands on drinking per year. So the
ASAP,
sooner you
what's
can shift
good,
into
my
something
boy?
meaningful, the better. Because partying is often used as an escape from your life and your responsibilities. Now, don't get me wrong, you still need to have fun, but just do it in moderation, you know, to celebrate something in real life or to reunite with friends. If you party too much throughout your 20s and into your 30s, it's going to be hard to get ahead. It'll be harder to maintain good health. You might have questionable
always gonna
friends
be in-
with less money, and you'll just
You're gonna be that one old ass motherfucker in that bitch.
overall be in a worse
the
situation.
club,
All right,
old
mistake
as
number
hell,
9 is
40-year-old.
chasing the vices, the easy dopamine. This includes drinking,
vices?
smoking, adult content, gambling. And these things, they give you the quick hit, the
Gambling.
temporary escape. In terms of gambling, smoking, and drinking,
All
look,
right, I was cool with the, smoking, drinking, adult content stuff like that. But when he said gambling, I had to draw the line right there because he tripping. Damn, bro.
I have a few drinks a week. I smoke cigars when I celebrate something on occasion. I hit the casino a few times a year, but it's all in moderation.
not
I don't
even-
have a reliance on this
I'm not
stuff.
even
When I
of age
gamble,
yet,
I don't
too.
gamble what I
Should be
can't lose.
crazy.
And lots of guys get caught up in this, and it kills their health or their finances.
I
Like they
can't
develop a
gamble what I can't
reliance on
lose.
smoking or vaping or gambling. They're gambling money they can't lose. And then adult content's kind of its own game. It's really a slippery drug that is best to avoid
man.
altogether, which is unfortunately
fuck that
harder and
shit.
harder in today's world. If you struggle with this, the best advice would be to
Man,
remove
fuck that
triggers,
shit.
you know,
Stop doing it.
Instagram, online access, be on your
Bro.
phone less, and stay busy. Because
Stop
idle
doing
hands are
it.
the devil's playground, and screen time limits and some of
2026.
these apps can be great as well. If you fall for these traps, you'll be deeply unfulfilled, stuck in a pattern of destructive habits that rewire your brain to chase cheap things and not meaning. This will demotivate you and be, invisible chains that are hard to break. Mistake number 10, and the final one here, it's not
Man.
taking your physical health seriously. I'm not going to spend too much
bro,
time
hey,
here,
I'm
but
going to the
build
gym
healthy
soon,
habits
you
for
feel
both
me? I'm a
fitness
little-
and eating. Because in your early
Get a little
20s,
bag
your
and
body can
shit,
take
but
a
you feel
beating
me?
and
I'm
be
trying to
fine.
go.
But when you get to my age, gone are the days where you
Still
can live
20
on no
and shit, you
sleep,
feel me? I
ramen
can-
noodles, and
you know,
beer.
I can flip
Hello,
the-
beer belly,
I
and
can
hello,
flip the
pear-shaped
fucking
dad
table
bodies.
right
If you
quick.
neglect this, you'll
Right
be
quick.
unhealthy and weird looking too soon. So there you have it, how to screw up your 20s step by step. Let me know what you
said
think of this
weird
list, what
looking
you'd
too.
add, what you'd agree with. And as
My
always,
boy's
have a great day.
clutch. My boy's clutch. W Mans. Giving us sauce. W Mans.